The war in Ukraine has brought much of that region to a halt, with economic embargoes and life in general disrupted in ways that just a month ago were unimaginable. As Ukrainians run from the war, and many from the region entirely, imagine being a college student and traveling towards Eastern Europe. Esther Bauer is here to begin a week-long series on 4 remarkable students and their instructor doing just that.
Well, Emily, these students are from Washington State University. They study at the university's Edward R. Murrow School of Journalism, and they, along with their project leader, actually arrived in Serbia just this morning.
We'll call them the Murrow 4, and you'll get to know them all as I did this past Friday during their final planning session, 2 in person and 2 via Zoom. Planning a trip that will span the next week. The concept was conceived inside the walls of the Murrow School, called Backpack Journalism. The project began months before the war in Ukraine seemed remotely possible.
Spring break is just going to be a time of recuperation for me.
As most Wazoo students left for their customary spring break, the Murrow 4 and instructor Allison Boggs were united in Seattle. And from there, they boarded a plane to Paris and on to Belgrade, the capital of Serbia.
We're absolutely exhausted, but we are here.
Exhausted, likely not only due to jet lag, but the enormity of this journey, running towards the fire of Eastern Europe while others run away. Here, they'll spend the better part of their spring break meeting with independent journalists. The label in this region for writers, photographers, and the like to distinguish them from others. Content creators that write and broadcast propaganda, messaging dictated by or perpetuating the agenda of press that is not free. They'll explore what we and democratic governments generally take for granted, freedom of the press.
Starting tomorrow, we'll sit down with the Murrow 4 and their instructor. As we take you to Serbia, you'll get to know these local students, and we'll start with the question on probably all of our minds. Why, with this war raging so close to them, did they decide to go through with the trip? You'll hear their answer and so much more only on 4 News Now all this week. Emily?